Hey guys, welcome back to the channel at Osiris and Phoebe, and today, after a long time, we are going to have a video on Marvel Future Fight. Now, because of our work pressure and our timings, we weren't able to make videos on Marvel Future Fight, which we are really sorry because we like Marvel Future Fight a lot. Though we are still playing the game, but we don't have time for making videos. Today I took a day off for some personal reasons, so I have the time for making this video. And fortunately, today we have the patch notes as well. So we are having the October update in, and it's the version 450 update. And I don't know what you feel about this update, but for me, it's a paywall update because every character that you get in this update, I mean, all of them are either paywall or you can get them from the hero chest, almost all of them. So I don't like the update, though we will see how good are the characters and we'll see whether they are worth the money that we will be spending in the game. So this is an X-Men update. We have 3 new characters, 4 new uniforms, and 1 tier 3 passive, oh not passive, tier 3 skill for Magneto. And Magneto got a uniform as well. So we will see with the uniform, the skill changes, and with the tier 3 passive, can he outscore Strifey in ABX? If he does, I'm saving my crystals. Right now I have 6,300 crystal, and if Magneto can beat Strifey in ABX, definitely I would go for Magneto than the Strifey pack. So we have a few more things in the update as well, but we'll start with the character. The first character in the patch notes is Gambit. He is a blast character, a male one, and he deals mind damage. He got mind abilities. The worst part is he's only available to through the 20x gene daily selector pack, and it costs around 800 rupees in India. So you can do the conversion and see how much would that cost it in your currency, or you can just go into the game in the mission shop and you will see the cost of this pack. The only problem what I feel is 800 for a single character is too much. From the 800 selector pack I can get one character to tier 2 and the other character at tier 1, which leaves me at a bad place because the other character is at tier 1. The same's happen with the biometrics pack. So I don't like these packs, but sometimes character like Ghost Panther, they are really required for ABX, and players like me, I only play this game for ABX. So I invest on those character, and for the rest of the other character like Enchantress, Agent Venom, I don't have them at tier 2. I have them at tier 1 because I don't need them. They are good players for Shadowland or AC, but not for ABX. I only spend money on those characters who are really required for ABX. And in case of Gambit, if for some reason he is good at ABX and he can outscore Cable, which I don't think would happen. I don't know, we need to test this character. If he does, definitely I would go for the 20x gene daily selector pack from the mission shop, and yeah, I would invest a bit more on this game. But there might be a slight chance that Netmarble would give you exchange selectors, my bad, exchange selectors, or they might have a 7-day login event in which you can collect tokens and can redeem them for these character, like the new ones that you're getting in the game, like Nightcrawler, the Gambit, or any other character. So there is a slight possibility because that's how Netmarble bribes you. They first give you a tier 1 character that you can get for free, and then they would know that you like the character, and then you will spend money on the game, and then you would buy the pack. So that's how this works, that's how they earn, so we cannot complain about that. So let's talk about this character. First is leadership kinetic precision, and the effect applies to all allies, and it's on a cooldown time which is not mentioned. So it okay, we don't have cooldown time on the leadership, my bad. So ignore target dodge rate by 10%, and this is the value for level 1 skill. I think till level 6 mastery it will go till 60%, if I'm not wrong. So that's a good leadership for, I guess, AC. Yes, ignore dodge might help you in that case. For Shadowland it is really good because we have toons like Rocket Raccoon who have a high dodge rate in certain stages, so this leadership would definitely help. The second is his passive, where he applies critical damage increase by 30%. It is something similar to the character who was villain in Black Panther. I forgot his name. I don't remember it now, but it is something similar to him. And that character in the game for me is having maxed out critical damage, even though I have 0% critical damage from my cards. So that's a great deal. Then for the tier 2 passive, we have the Royal Flush, and in which we are getting increased skill damage by 32%, increased bonus damage by 15%, increased chain hit damage by 20% when attacking. Okay, and increases guaranteed critical rate by 30%. This is a really impressive tier 2 passive because it is applied for all skills, not a particular skill. So whenever you press any button, any attack, you will get this passive effect. This is really good. Something, a combination, not combination, something enhancement in Quicksilver's uniform bonus. He has 10% crit chain hit damage increase from the uniform, and here you're getting 20%. With a CTP of energy, you are having a total of 50% chain hit damage increase when the proc is active, when the CTP is active. So this guy might beat Cable depending upon the build, and he has the potential to go to level 70 now. So this guy might give Cable a hard time, though we need to check while playing this guy on ABX, and we'll see how effective is he. And the best part, Cable's and his leadership are the same. Both gives you ignore dodge. And now we have the active skill 1, Swift Attack, where he gives you 2 seconds of stun, energy damage 146%. So this is a good thing because 146% of energy attack value is a good value for a particular attack, and it is really better than the skill 2 because there you have only 45%. It also depends upon the number of hits and the animation. If this skill has having low hits and slow animation, then there is a chance that skill number 2 with less attack value with more hits and faster animation can give you a better result. So we need to see the animation so to get to know how good is this character. Then skill number 3 is the Spin Rush, where you get bleed damage for 5 seconds, fear for 4 seconds. That's a good thing because that's a good CC for timeline battle as well. Energy damage is really good, and you can control your character using the V pad while casting that skill, something which was started with Adam Warlock, and it is now being applied to many characters because the animation and the overall effect that you get with the V-pad while casting different skill, the ability to move, get away from the enemy, that's really something in the game now. And the fourth active skill is the wild card, in which you get fracture for 10 seconds, energy damage is 45% of energy attack, and some additional energy damage. And then for the fifth skill, it is a good skill because it applies 25 minus, okay, point minus 25, or I think it's minus 25% decrease to all defenses, which can stack up to 60% for 10 seconds. Then you have energy attack value, and then you get 5% chance to penetrate super armor effect, barrier shield, etc. for 5 seconds. Increase all attack by 20%, all speed by 5, and crit rate by 20, and removes incapacitation for 5 seconds. And this skill is also having the V-pad effect. So in general, if you look at the tier 2 passive, the effect that you're getting from various skill and the active buff on the skill number 5, I think this character is really impressive. The buff is good, the all defense to the enemy character decrease is really amazing, and the cooldown is just 13% on the 5th skill. So if you have maxed skill cooldown on this guy, it would be around 6 seconds. So after every 6 seconds you will get the buff, and the tier 2 passive is always active. So with a good CTP, I guess CTP of energy, you can deal an insane score in ABX, but again we will test it in the ABX. The second character here is Nightcrawler. He is again a speed type character as expected, male hero, and again a character that you can either get from the hero chest, premium hero chest, which can be bought from the shop for crystal, and then the again X gene selectors, which cost around 800 Indian rupees. So again, I don't think Nightcrawler would beat Quicksilver in ABX, but if you're a big fan of him, I really am a big fan of him. The animation in the game would be really amazing. I saw that in the first sneak peek and then in the video as well, but I don't think I would be buying this character if he's really not good at ABX. So the leadership, This is the common leadership for all the speed type character, which is all speed increase. The 1% is because it is at 1 star mastery. When you will increase it, it will give you better all attack speed, all speed, sorry, but I don't think it's a good leadership. Second is his passive dodge rate increased by 20%, and there is a proc activation rate. When dodging, you will get all attack increased by 15, all defense by 1, and all speed by 1% for 10 seconds. And it is on a cooldown for 10 seconds. So you're getting a good amount of dodge with this guy, and when this guy performs any dodging skills in the game, and when you dodge an enemy's attack, you will get this buff. So I don't think that it's a deal breaker, because the 15% is fixed. You cannot increase this value while upgrading the character. It would be 15% at level 1, it would be 15% at level 60 as well. So I don't know whether this character would be a deal breaker, but we'll see once we test him. Then his tier 2 passive increases kill damage by 32, bonus damage by 15, 20% increase to all attack and defense of the summon characters, okay, and increases guaranteed dodge rate by 25%. So his tier 2 passive is in synergy with his 4-star passive, which is a good thing, because now, because of the guaranteed dodge rate by 25%, there is more chance that you can get the proc active of the active all attack proc most of the time on this character. Then we move on to skills. The blind side, and applies to enemies and self. Apply to enemy 2-second stun. Physical damage, so he's a physical attack character, 101% of physical attack, and he got summons with 10% of the summoner's stat for 7 seconds. And the best thing is, it's on a cooldown on 3 seconds. If you have max skill cooldown on this guy, so after every 3 seconds you can cast this skill, and the summons would be there for 7 seconds. So that's a good thing. And we need to see how the summons work, how they attack, are they powerful in the game. And he feels something similar to Black Bolt's brother, I forgot his name as well. Yeah, he was the supervillain in the series. I don't know why I'm forgetting the names of the Marvel tombs. What's wrong with me? But yes, that guy is Maximus. Yes, that guy is also having a lot of summons in almost all his skills, and you can same the same effect on this guy. He got summoned in first, second, third, fourth, and yeah, all his 5 skills would give you summons. And we need to see whether they take aggro or not. If they do, then definitely this character can be a good character for AC. We need to test that. He would be definitely good at Shadowland, I can say that for sure. And for World Boss Ultimate, we need to test. Now for skill number 3, it gives you 10% bleed damage for 5 seconds. Physical attack value is good. Then we have summons with 10% of summoner stats for 7 seconds, and it's on a cooldown of 10 seconds. Then the next skill gives you good amount of CC, fear for 4 seconds, stun for 1 second. Physical damage value is good. Again, you're getting summons and you're getting an active buff for 10 seconds that include all attack, all speed, critical rate, and removes incapacitation for 10 seconds, which is good. And if you see the cooldown, it's for 14 seconds, and if you have max skill cooldown, it's for 7 seconds then. So after every 7 seconds you can cast this skill, and the buff would be applied to the character for 10 seconds. So that's a good thing, because buff duration is greater than the skill reduction duration, so you can cast the skill very often. Skill number 5 gives you stun to the enemy, again a good thing. Physical attack value is good, and then it gives you summons. Skill number 5th is having 18 seconds of skill cooldown, so on a maximum 50% skill cooldown on the character, you can cast the skill after every 9 seconds, and the summons would be there for 7 seconds. So I don't feel like this character can outscore Quicksilver in ABX, but he would be really good at Shadowland, normal World Boss, not World Boss Ultimate for now. At tier 2, I think he can really do, he can give you a good survivability in World Boss Ultimate, but I'm not sure of this thing in the higher stages of World Boss Ultimate. And then he's a good tune if you want to just play with him in the game without any agenda. Just hang around this guy and have fun. Now this character, he got my attraction in this game, because Sentinel, he's a neutral character. I don't know whether in the game this applies or not. Being neutral for me should be like he should be considered as male and female so that we can use him on different game modes. Destroyer is the same gender neutral one, but I haven't tested whether he can be used in both the game modes for male and female. If does, then this character can be used for the AVX where we need supervillain, female, and a universal character. And if you look at this guy, he feels somewhat like Apocalypse. So I am hoping that this character can be used for that ABX day. And if does, that definitely I would buy the 20 biometrics daily pack and would get him to tier 2 to test whether this guy can outscore um, Proxima Midnight, Hela, or the other tunes that currently we are using in the game for that day of ABX. With Hela, I am able to have a score of 180,000, which is really low because I have a low proc on her, a really bad build, no fancy urus on them, so I need to make them. But I was hoping to get a new character so that I can have the character build from the start and have a good build without changing any of the character. And I have a good obelisk in my inventory, a 180% one, and if this guy can score a good thing in the ABX, I would definitely go for this guy. So his leadership is really good because it gives you remove all debuff for 2 seconds, because this is for level 1 value. Then his passive skill is a long passive skill, 25% rate when hit, apply to self. He gets you super armor when you take hit for 5 seconds, and all defense increase for 6 seconds with a cooldown of 5 seconds. Then we have 70% chance to become immune to the greatest element damage received. This is a new thing and I don't know what that means, but we will test that. This is really weird. Greatest element damage received. So we'll see what that is in the game. Then apply to self. Increase damage dealt to mutant type by 50%. So again, this guy can be really good at AC against the mutant character, because now we have some fancy powerful mutant characters like the new characters we got from the Infinity Warp update. Some of them are mutants and some of them are really powerful. Magneto is a good tune for AC, and this guy might kill Magneto's ass in AC because he got 50% damage increase to mutant type, and he takes decreased damage from mutant type characters as well by 50% for 3 seconds. Then the tier 2 skill gives him 20-second increase to all attack and defense of the summoned characters, 20% increase to HP and duration, then increase all attack by 25%, all speed by 10, critical rate by 10, removes incapacitation, and immunity to dominance of spirit. So his tier 2 passive applies to him all the time, there is no cooldown, and it also increases the effect of mutant suppressor. So we'll see what that is. I mean, he was born to kill mutants, the X-Men, so definitely this is something related to his comic history or the movie history. So that's really good thing how Netmarble produced the movie thing into the game. Then we have the first skill, Rocket Punch, which is on a cooldown of 6 seconds. It gives you stun, and he is an energy attack character who deals physical damage, something similar to Caecilius. He's a physical attack character who takes, I think, energy value, or the other way around. I don't remember right now, but it is something similar to him. Then we have the active skill 2, Mutant Detected, in which he gives you 20% decrease to all defense on the enemy character, 20% decrease to all attack on the enemy character, which can stack up to 100%, a good thing. Physical damage, 65% of energy attack. The damage value is low, but we need to see the number of hits and how the animation is performed. Skill number 3 is a good skill in my opinion because it gives you physical attack 183% of energy attack value, a good attack value. Then it gives you 10% of maximum HP recovery, and it creates a shield which is 5% of maximum HP and removes all debuffs. So this is a good skill because it is having regeneration, it gives you shield, and it removes debuffs as well. So while facing characters in timeline battle, if you're able to cast this skill, you might get out of some of their CC if you have this skill on time, and if you have the leadership passive as well. Then we have active skill number 4, which gives to enemy 10% shock damage, stun for 1 second, then again stun for 3 seconds. Now if these stuns overlap, then it's useless, but if they are not overlapping, first you get the 1 second stun, then you get the 3 second stun, then you get a total of 4 seconds stun, which is good. And if that's the case, I would say that this is a good skill. Then you have lightning damage, 33% of energy attack, and you have 100% chance to penetrate with energy immunity, physical immunity, and all damage immunity, and invincibility for 1 second. So this is a good skill because you are getting a good amount of stun. If they are not overlapping, you're getting the lightning damage, which is kind of an elemental damage and might be a good thing in different scenarios. We'll test for that. And then you're getting some penetration on energy, physical, and all damage immunity along with invincibility, which is a good thing. So I think skill number 4 might be a great deal in the game. And then for the last skill, which is skill number 5, you are having 103% of energy attack value, and it's an energy attack skill. Then you have summons, which have 50% of the summoner stats at level 1. So at level 6, this might be a good skill, because at level 1 if you're getting 50, I'm hoping more than 150 on the level 6. We'll see how that goes, and we'll see how this character fares in the game. So as I told you, this is a cash grab update, and you have 2 characters from exchange selector, 1 character from the biometric selector, which is a bad thing. I mean, we should at least have 1 character in the game who is free to play. People can get them without paying anything and they can just enjoy it. But we'll see how this update goes. Then we have Magneto's new uniform, and I don't know what Netmarble thought while making this one, but it gives increased damage dealt by 45% from skills to machine type characters, and it enhances the repulsion skill effect. The uniform will cost around 1050 crystal on discounted cost, and it will give you all attack, all defense increased by 15%. So it doesn't change his side. He is a supervillain now as well. And increased damage dealt by 45% from skills to machine type characters. So it will deal more damage to machine type characters. For example, if you have this uniform and you are facing Sentinel, then definitely you will deal more damage, because I don't know whether in the game he is machine type or not, but in the movie he was a machine built to kill the X-Men, the good X-Men, and yeah, Magneto was controlling him. So we'll see how good this uniform applies to him and against different characters in the game. I'm hoping for a good number of skill changes, and I'm hoping that this guy with the uniform and tier 3 can outscore the so-called Cable's brother, because I don't like him in the game. Then we have new uniform for Emma Frost. Again, 1050 crystal, doesn't change her side. She's again a blast character, female one. All attack and all defense by 15% at the normal uniform. Then you have activation rate 35% when attacking, applies to enemy incapacitation, and removes active buff from target for 10 seconds. So we'll see how good this uniform is. I'm hoping for a good amount of skill changes. The Emma Frost is a good tune in the game without the uniform as well. Then we have X23 X-Force uniform, speed, female hero, 1050 crystal, all attack, all defense by 15%, increases all debuff effect by 20%, so the bleed damage would be improved. Then we have dodge rate increased by 20 and 25% increase of physical attack value. And this is the uniform bonus without any cooldown, so this is a good uniform bonus in my opinion. And again we have Archangel, and he is not a super villain. I don't know why, but he should be a super villain. He is a hero, male character. This is the only uniform which will cost you in this update around 750 crystal, and the uniform passive is 35% when attacking. It will deal 25% of poison damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. I don't know whether this is a good uniform bonus or not, because this cannot be applied to world bosses. This might be a lifesaver in Shadowland, because the poison damage would help you get that extra tinge of damage. I don't know, but we will test all these uniform in the game, and we will see how these characters are in the game. When you have them at a particular build, whether attacking or defensive, we'll see what suits this character. So that was all about this update, and if you like the content, don't forget to like it, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon if you haven't done that yet, and do let me know in the comment section what do you feel about the new update and what are you going to do with the update. Have a nice day, guys.